Okay, this is classwork video 315. I'm going to have you check your work, check it, copy it, and then write down the 5 words that I say randomly to show me that you listened. So here we go. First of all, you need to know that all of these angles, if I add them all up, they always equal to 180 for a triangle. You need to know that. They always add up to be 180. Horse. So for this, I'm going to take these pieces and I'm going to add these pieces up and set them equal to 180. So here I go, adding those up. I'm going to combine like terms and then do algebra. So I have 4n plus 15. And then my next part is this 3n plus 5. And then my last part is this n. And I always equal that to 180 degrees. First step is to combine like terms. I'm going to combine together. If I could write that, combine. So I'm going to combine all my n's. I'm going to combine all my plain numbers together. I'm going to combine them before I do algebra. So 4 plus 3, 7 plus 1 more gives me 8 of those n's. And then when I add 15 plus 5, that gives me 20 equal to 180. And now I'm going to do inverse operations. Inverse operations. Which is a fancy word for just solve it doing typical algebra. So here we go. Opposite of adding this 20 right here, opposite is taking away 20, subtracting 20 on both sides. That will make that go away. Bring down the 8n, bring down your equal. 180 minus 20 gives me 160. And now the opposite right here of timesing by 8 is dividing both sides by 8. So when I use my calculator to divide 160 by 8, that should spit out n is 20. And again, know that 20, that's not A and B. A and B do not equal 20. No, A and B do not equal 20. You need to know that. The only angle that really equals 20 is this C. C equals 20 degrees. But you need to do the math to solve for the others. So here I go. Barn. So for my next step, I take that n is 20 and I plug it in. I plug it in right here and I do the math. And then I take that same 20 and I plug it in right here and do the math. So here I go. Taking that n is 20. Let's solve for A first. So A, I got 3. And where that n is, I'm going to plug in a 20. And then I have that 5 still there. That's going to give me 60. And then when I add that up, that gives me A is 65 degrees. That's for A. Now I got to do the work and solve for B. So here I go. B, take that same n is 20 and plug it in. I got 4. I'm going to plug in 20 right here. I got plus 15. That's going to give me 80 plus 15. And if I do that right, that should give me, I believe, 95. Always kind of wary in my arithmetic here, not using a calculator. And then if I do my math right, all of those should equal to 180. So if I want to do a quick check, if I take that 20, just do a super quick check. Take that 20, add 65, add that 95. If I do my work right, that should give me 120. So here we go. Let's add that up. 60 plus 65 plus 20. That gives me 85. And when I add that to 95, there I go. That gives me 180. So I know that is legit. All my angles are good. All right, next problem here. A little bit harder. where one of these terms is not just n over here, it's 2n. So know when you solve for that, n is not c. So here we go. For this one, add them up, set them equal to 180 degrees. Boot. So for these, I got 5n plus 40. I got 3n minus 10. And I got that 2n over there. And I set that equal to 180. Now combine like terms. 5 plus 3 plus 2. Add them up. That gives me 8. Gives me 10 of those n's. Now combine the plain numbers. 40 minus 10 right there. That's going to give me positive 30 equal to 180. Now my next step is to inverse operations. Take away 30. That will cancel away. Bring that 10n down. Make sure you actually subtract 180 minus 30. That gives me 150. And then right there, divide by 10. And that will give me what n equals. N should equal 15. But just remember, for this one, C does not equal 15 degrees. Got to be careful. On this last one that I gave you, it equaled that right away because this was just plain old n. But for this one, be careful, it's 2n. So when I take that and plug it in, rope. That will solve for both C, A, and B. So here I go. Let's do that triple plug-in. For A, let's do A first. I got 3. Plug that 15 in. 3 times 15, I believe, gives me 45 minus 10. I do that math, that should give me 35 degrees for A. If I do B, that's going to be 5. Plug that number in. It's 15 plus that 40. That doesn't change. 5 times 15, using my calculator for this arithmetic, gives me 75. And then leaving that and adding 40 gives me 115. And then for this one, to solve for C, C is twice whatever that 15 is. And then that should give you 30. And again, to do a quick check, they should equal 180. So just super quick check. Let's add these up. Does 35 plus that 115 plus that 30, does that equal 180? So 35 plus 115 gives me 150. And then plus that 30, yes, that does give me 180. So I know my answers are good. Good luck, cow.